One of the biggest changes in American society in the last 50 years has been the increase in the drug trade, the use of illegal drugs. So, our question is, has the war on drugs been a failure? But I guess a second question should be, how have Americans changed their attitude towards the use of marijuana? During President Reagan's term in the 80s, Nancy Reagan, his wife, was put in charge of a PR campaign for trying to get people to quit using drugs. And her logo or slogan, I guess, was just say no, which of course has been mocked because it's not quite as easy to do. But it was the first time the nation really paid attention to the toll that drugs were taking on the American public. So, starting in the 80s, we began to see some efforts to root out drugs. And in 1989, in Massachusetts, we created a drug free zone to try to keep drugs away from students. And there's a penalty for as much as 15 years if a person is caught selling or distributing drugs within 1,000 feet of a school. In 1985, the Supreme Court said a school had the right to search without a warrant if there's reasonable belief a crime is being committed. So students have rights in schools, but drugs have changed the horizon a little bit, I should say. In 1995, the Supreme Court agreed that random drug tests do not violate students' Fourth Amendment rights. When I taught in Stoughton several years ago, the police came in with drug sniffing dogs, and a student was hauled out of my classroom because they had found illegal drugs in his locker. When my kids were at Westwood High School, there was a search for drugs, and the drug sniffing dogs never even got in the building before they smelled drugs in somebody's car. So this is legal to do. In 1980, you've all heard of MADD, MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. It was founded by women, one woman in particular who had lost her child to a drunk driver, to try and promote the stopping of underage drinking. We've talked before in class about the drinking age. When I was in high school, the drinking age was 18, and it went up every year that I was in college until 21, where it remains today. Very controversial because young people, when something is forbidden, sometimes tend to do it more. And to push states to do this, Congress cut highway funds to any state that did not raise the drinking age to 21, and all states complied by 1989. You guys all remember going probably in fifth grade to the DARE program, which was designed to help keep kids off of drugs. So, in terms of legalization of marijuana, if you look at the blue states, there are more of them, those are the states that have legalized medical marijuana. Marijuana can be prescribed for things like to alleviate cancer pain, for seizures, anti-anxiety. Marijuana is often prescribed for that. And the green states are states that allow recreational as well as medical marijuana. I believe it was 2016 that Massachusetts had a referendum, and the people voted to add it to our state laws. So let's see where we are. 2016. 9 states allow recreational as well as medicinal marijuana. I believe this is the way it's going. There are a lot of problems connected with it, not the least of which is banking for people involved in the marijuana trade, because it's still illegal on a federal level. The other really, really big question is, should we allow those people out of jail who were put in jail for minor drug offenses, possessing a small amount of marijuana, who are serving sometimes ridiculously long sentences? And some people estimate that if we went through the jails and took out all those people, we would reduce its population by as much as 25%. So marijuana has become way more accepted than it certainly was when I was a teenager. But the flip side is marijuana today is way more potent and perhaps habit forming than it was years ago.